My 31F, X, 32 meters, won't stop emailing me post-breakup. My sisters think I should call the authorities. To make things short, my ex and I didn't mesh well, but his severe anger issues were reason number one why. I found his character deplorable and I tried to end things earlier on but was gaslit and manipulated and unfortunately didn't have the self-confidence to trust my gut. The relationship got worse over time, and although there wasn't bad physical abuse, he did emotionally/psychologically abuse me as well as verbally abuse me. I was not great at times either. I take responsibility for that. But I also knew we weren't a good fit and tried to tell him we should be apart. He was a controlling person, not 100% of the time of course, they rarely are, and very jealous, and it was difficult to be with him. We broke up 4 months ago and I thought that was the end of it. It was a bad breakup. He kept trying with me for weeks and I was stuck in what you can call a trauma bond. It took me weeks to slowly get off it, but we spent weeks apart. It's hard to describe this to people who haven't experienced it, but it's like weaning off an addiction. Anyway, he did some terrible things when we were broken up, and when he told me about the things he did, I realized he went too far. Near the end, he kind of admitted to emotionally cheating on me near the end, or at least claiming he felt more deeply for a coworker who was a total psycho and chased him despite knowing I was with him. I'm pretty sure she will destroy him or they will each other. That was the final switch I needed to jeetfo and respect myself. Still so glad he slipped and told me that, because it was the immediate fuck you I needed. Now he won't stop emailing me from different email addresses. I've gotten 4 or 5 in the last 3 days. He keeps telling me he's so forgiving and you're lucky I'm giving you this chance to be with me, except I have no desire to be with him. My family members who know about this are worried for my safety now and think I should contact local authorities. I'm not sure if he would actually do anything terrible, but you can never be too sure. Since this is essentially digital stalking, he also found me on the dating app I was on and tried to send me a message there too. Can I do anything about this? Does this sound dangerous? Anyone been in this position before? TL, Dr. X is digitally stalking me and won't leave me alone. Emails are not romantic or loving but more angry and intimidating in nature despite no direct threats being made. What can I do to protect myself? Yes. If he's not physically harassing/stalking you, complete radio silence. If he does start physically harassing/stalking you, keep copious notes and go to the police then. Sounds like harassment and stalking behavior to me. It wouldn't hurt to have a police report on file. This essentially happened to me as well. He showed up to my work even at 5 AM and I had to scream at him to leave. He called and emailed me for over a year. I blocked several numbers but he always made new ones. I still do not answer unknown numbers. Nothing violent ever came of it, but I regret not filing a police report or doing anything. I was scared that it wasn't serious enough, but it affected my mental health severely, and if I could have put a stop to it earlier I would have been able to start healing sooner. I wish you all the best in this situation. Step 1 is not to reply at all, ever. No reaction, no feedback, no reward for him. Negative attention is still attention. Same goes for anyone else you know. Do not let anyone else reply to him. They might think they're being well-intentioned or standing up for you, but that's not how it works. All he'll take from it is that he's getting through to you. If he gets any response of any kind from anyone after 100 attempts, all he's learned is it takes 100 attempts to get a response. Involving the police might escalate things or might warn him off. Hard to say. Might be worth giving the black hole effect some time to work. Let him get bored. Without feedback he'll most likely find someone else to focus on. But if he gets any feedback at all it'll just keep him going. I'm sorry this is happening to you. Actually have been in this exact same situation, however my ex-boyfriend sent out many more threatening sounding texts. Things like you have 10 minutes to meet me at X or else. One thing I recommend is to save as much evidence as possible. I had screenshots of text conversations, Instagram DMs, Snapchats, emails, you name it. Pretty much had a whole folder in my phone devoted to these screenshots to help build a case if I ever needed to. Good thing I did, because they sure came in handy. I went to to the cops twice. The first time, there weren't any threats yet. Just a lot of conversations with him begging me to talk to him and me responding that he should leave me alone and move on. The police told me that since I responded to him, there wasn't much they could do since me replying to his texts basically gave him a reason to continue to contact me. I was also told to block him on everything and have my friends, who he was trying to contact me through, block him too and not respond. I was angry because it felt like I needed for things to escalate to a dangerous point for the police to do something. I left the police station angry, but blocked him and things became quiet for a few days. It was at this point that he became angry that communication was cut off and he started showing up at my house. My mom and I went back to the police station because I was now scared to be in and out of my own house. This time, the cops took this as a serious threat and a restraining order was filed. Since then, I've had no issues. I suggest you block him on everything like I did and do not respond to him. Let any close friends/family know what's going on so if he happens to reach out to them, they know not to respond either. If things escalate, contact the authorities. Best of luck with all this, sending support and I hope these emails are the worst of it. My 26M girlfriend, 26F, said she knew about STDs. She didn't. Hello everyone. I've found myself in a bit of an emotional pickle, and I require some guidance. First, some background. I've been with my GF for a little over 2 years. Before me, my GF had a pretty active sexual past, including a few laters and a few hookups. When we first started having sex, she assured me that she was healthy and tested for any and all STDs. I myself had been with only one other woman, my then GF, who had been tested before hooking up with me. She even showed me the results at some point. Just yesterday, some blood work of my GF came back, and we figured out that at some point in her life she might have contracted Hep B. This sparked a conversation between us, and soon thereafter I realized that she was missing some vital info regarding STDs. Firstly, she has never had an actual STD test. She goes to her annual gyno visits, and the gyno supposedly checks for some STDs, gonorrhea, chlamydia etc., but that's about it. Secondly, she thought that a condom blocks every STD under the sun. From my understanding, while a condom does protect against a wide range of STDs, it isn't 100% effective, and there are some STDs for which it can do nothing about, HPV, syphilis etc. As you may guess, right now I'm a bit terrified for my health. I contacted a couple of checking centers, and they told me I can go get tested next week, as they are shutting down temporarily for the New Year's. I don't know whether I'm in actual danger. Does the gyno test for most STDs? And I don't know how to feel. My GF is only here for a few days, and I'm trying to enjoy the time we have together, but the thought of having contracted some potentially life-threatening STD constantly creeps up. A lot of people are vaccinated against Hep B, so if she has antibodies for Hep B, it may be because she has been vaccinated, not because of an STD. Okay, so I'm going to say this: you yourself have never been tested and only relied on what a past GF provided. Don't put everything on your current GF if you yourself has never been tested. Your past GF could have provided results, but when was that from? Did she have other relations as she was with you? You need to seriously not put this all on your current GF if you did not get tested yourself. Hey op. Sorry to hear you're feeling a bit flustered. Hep B can often go undetected as sometimes it missed on standard STI checks. There have been a few cases where women often will not know they've had or had it until they've had the specialized antibody test during pregnancy. As for your concerns about your sexual health, you should be mindful that when you are sexually active, the chance of running up an STI is a possibility and that it's normal to have a healthy amount of concern. Remember to test regularly, and in most cases there's treatment if you do catch something. Enjoy the time with your partner. Relax and get to the clinic when you can. The gyno checks for the most common STDs including HPV. When my partner and I decided to have sex without a condom, I considered my yearly exam as proof. He went and got tested basically for the same panel of STDs that I was tested for at my yearly exam. If you have sex, you are taking some risks no matter what precautions you are taking. It sounds like maybe you aren't ready to be taking that risk at this point in your life. I was sent images of my GF with other men, nothing sexual but definitely affectionate, and when confronted about it she said she's being blackmailed. As the title states, I woke up to being bombarded with images of my GF with 2 separate men. Nothing explicit, but there were 3 images where one had his arms around her affectionately. When I asked her about it she said he was a friend who got obsessed with her and is now trying to blackmail her with pictures because she turned him down. I want to believe her, but obviously it's not that simple. I just don't know what to do. Too long didn't read. GF says she's being blackmailed. Blackmailer is saying she's been cheating on me. Update: I spoke to her best friend. One of the men is a gay bestie and the one trying to blackmail her was a childhood friend who has been into her from when they were kids. So he is spiteful and sending me images. I have not been able to get a hold of my GF to discuss the issue yet, but her best friend says that she is emotionally distraught. I'll say I'm impressed with the level-headed responses in the comments section. You haven't received anything to indicate that she is cheating. I'd believe her until he sends you more concrete evidence. You should extend your partner the benefit of doubt with the expectation that you're getting full honesty and all questions answered in return. Her claim is certainly plausible, but what has she done in response? When did this friend make a romantic advance on her? While you've been dating? So why are you just now finding out when he starts sending you pictures? What is she doing now, or planning to do, to address the situation? Has she cut this person out 100% completely and permanently? What about the other guy you're getting pictures of? Bottom line, need more details/info before deciding if it was a relationship I would/could continue investing in. She has allegedly cut off all contact with him. There are also pictures of him kissing her cheek. But what concerns me is the pictures are taken by her, from her phone. The second guy, I can't say for certain when the images were taken, were slightly more intimate and apparently uploaded to her private Instagram story by her. But like I said, I can't pinpoint the time frame, so it might have been before we were dating, but I don't know. Do you think she cheated and is trying to cover it up with blackmail stories? Do you know the men in the pics? That's what I'm unsure of. Currently she says it doesn't matter what she says because I won't believe her. But I can't verify anything and am obviously distrustful right now. Don't know either of them. If it's just him having his arm around her, then yay, the problem is him. The guy wants your girl and is trying to break you all up. I read your update. She is playing you like a dime store harmonica. You've been dating for a year but have never heard of or met her gay bestie. The other guy has been in love with her since childhood, but you've also never heard of or met him. Why would he think that you hadn't seen pics she took and uploaded to her Instagram? Obviously he knows you haven't seen those pics if he thought they would bother you. Then, instead of just showing you that she uploaded them at a certain time or from a certain event, she deleted the social media that could have backed up her story. Then you can't get a hold of her, but her best friend conveniently backs up the entire story. Also, what is the blackmail? Blackmail means that if the person doesn't give them something, they will harm them in some way. So what did the guy ask for, and does she have proof of that? Or did she delete their conversations like she deleted Instagram?